Hey, this is Detroit Bob. I'm going to take you on a little trip, and I also want to refer you to Detroit Bob, the podcast, because we're going to talk about this label right here with a guy named Norm, and what did it mean to him and me growing up. So come along for this trip and check out the podcast Detroit Bob with Norm. It dropped yesterday. Follow along.
Yes, Detroit Bob back at you. We're taking a little trip in the air down to Florida. So I'm going to take you along. You're going to hear the sights, the sounds. We're going to get 30,000 feet high, and then we're going to land and drive some nice Dodge Ram power across the interstate, and eventually we'll get to where we're going. But as usual, there's always a few roadblocks. We'll be dodging some raindrops, some planes, some trains, and some automobiles are involved. So the bottom line is we're getting out of here with some decent vinyl. And I'm going to take you on this journey along the way. So stick with me, and let's hope these clouds clear, and we'll go from there.
Record stores don't usually open till about 10 or 12 o'clock, so I use my downtime to do a little research. I'm thinking my reggae collection's a little weak, so definitely Bob Marley, Gregory Isaacs, something in that vein. Hey, Detroit Bob back at you. That's the first time I've ever been kicked off a golf course. And I even had a shirt with a collar on it. Off to find some records later. You know, there's so many great rock and roll surf songs that just remind you of the beach or about the beach. So I'm going to go through some of my top favorites for you, and I hope you like that. I'll look for them when I go to the record store, but they're permanently in my brain. Every time I go to the beach, I end up singing them. So I'm going to share a few of them with you. Surfing USA by the Beach Boys, Wipe Out by the Scours. How about Down by the Seaside, Led Zeppelin? Down by the Sea and Sand, The Who? How about Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys? How about Surf's Up by the Beach Boys? Surfing USA by the Beach Boys. Finally, the Sunshine State reveals itself. Thank goodness. Down by the Sea and Sand with Detroit Bob. We're going to get out to the thrift stores, we're going to get out to the record stores, and we're going to find some great surfing gems. I can feel it. How about Surfing Bird by the Trashmen? That's a good one. Someone didn't eat their lunch. Maybe the best seaside song of all times is Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters. Who can forget that soul classic? It came out in 1964. Probably the most popular surf rock single of all time is the Hawaii Five-0 theme song, composed by Morton Stevens. It came out in 1968. It was a great song. Anybody who finds this on 45 is going to be very happy. So scour those bins and pick that one up. Hey, a lot of people don't know this, but the debut release by the Beach Boys was actually Surfin' on Candix Records. B-side Luau. I'd love to find that in one of these little record stores. All right, as you all know, the Beach Boys actually created the genre of surf rock with their 1963 hit Surfin' USA. They were also known as the Pendletones originally for their Pendleton surf shirts they used to wear. Great stuff. See you later. Okay, Led Zeppelin, you remember Down by the Seaside, ended up on Physical Graffiti, but originally it was supposed to be on Led Zeppelin 4. Great song, deep cut, check it out. So actually the Trashmen did Surfin' Bird, but it really was a matchup of an earlier hit by the Rippingtons, Papa Ma Wow, and everybody's heard about the bird. So imagine that, there was legal problems. Great song, I'd love to find that on 45. Down by the Sea and Sand, nothing ever goes as planned. So far I'm coming up empty in all the shops, the thrift stores, the antique stores, and the record shops. So I got about 48 hours left. Hey, everybody's looking for something. The guy behind me here, he's looking for gold. And these beaches in Florida are covered with gold and silver coins. Hey, Detroit Bob's been known to do a little metal detecting too. All right, I got 3 record stores lined up for tomorrow. So we're gonna hit it, hard. My last day, I gotta come through because so far, I haven't found much down here. You gotta find time between your record hunting to hit the beach. This is where I get the best ideas of what kind of music I wanna zero in on. I've already zeroed in on some Latin jazz, some surf music, some beach music, and I wanna dig into Jimmy Buffett's old catalog. I'd like to find an obscure 45 from his Key West days. Detroit Bob, back at ya. Yeah, it's time to gear up for the record store. It's cold out there, so I'm gonna put on my board shirt and head out. And I got full Beach Boys attire here. Of course, you know Detroit Bob's gotta have this shirt. So hopefully I'll find some of their 45s. All right, much more comfortable now. Let's do this thing. Here we come, record stores. All right, finally, Detroit Bob here. Gonna check this place out. Guy had a pretty decent Facebook ad, and I think he's just one of many vendors in here. Got it. Well, this is it. No sign of Ricky. All right, Ricky, what do you got? See a lot of LPs. Don't see much 45s. What's this? CDs. CDs. Well, I'll flip through these albums. Always go through your Beatles and your Beach Boys. Few arrivals. Sometimes you get some unsorted stuff. $10. It's my life. 25 bucks. Come on. Yeah, I'm not looking for LPs anyways, so I'm gonna zip through these pretty quick. Hopefully this place does a lot better. All right, let's give this place a shot. There's that London Calling cover I was talking about. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
You guys, I'm a collector. Do you guys got any 45s?
We have random, there's some bins down here.
Just flip through them?
Yeah, there's no order to them.
All right, you mind if I roll some video for my YouTube channel?
Go for it.
All right, thanks. You don't see that with a sleeve.
Now would be a good time to talk about flipping through records. I would never expect a beginning collector to go through these records as fast as I do. I would expect a table with 3 hours and agreement by the owner of the record shop that you can sit there and take as long as you want. But to the trained eye and someone who has 8,000 45s in their collection, I'm going quick. I've trained my eye to look for certain labels and certain bands and high value targets. Now, I'm not going to worry about a $3 record as much as I would a $20 record. And you're always looking for that VJ or whatever your holy grail is. So in the beginning, take your time, come with cash in your pocket, and find that gem which is your choice. If you get stuck and you're not sure, you can always pull Discogs out on your cell phone and look it up. But remember, we're all dealing with limited resources, and usually it's time and money. So if you know you only have $20 and 20 minutes, you gotta make it count. Once again, when you have your days where it's a rainy day and you got nothing but time on your hands and nothing but money in your wallet, that's a whole different story. But do not go hunting unless you plan to enter every one of these 45s or LPs, if you're an LP collector, into Discogs when you get home. You need to have that digital storage of your collection that you can refer to at a moment's notice. Collecting is fun, and you can get lost in it, and it is a great hobby. But now you have to keep it digitally stored so you can access, price, and grade your collection. Otherwise, you'll just have piles of records laying around. We'll talk about physical storage later, but start with digital storage of your collection. And that's what Discogs does for you. I just happened to choose the niche of 45s because I happened to pick up a jukebox a couple years ago. We'll talk about jukebox, how to play your 45s, what's the difference between the two mediums, and we'll maybe even touch on 78s down the road. But don't be afraid to dive in and just buy the 45s that you like or remember, your guilty pleasures, if you will. Collecting is different for everybody.
104.
Let me see what I got. Maybe the wife's got some more. Maybe you can keep that. I'm gonna launch my channel launches in 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 98.
Close enough.
Okay. All right. So let's do the deal.
All right.
Okay. And I'll give you guys a shout out.
Appreciate it.
And basically, it's Detroit Bob. I go all over the world with Rare 45 records.
Very cool.
I've been to France. I've been to New Orleans. I've been to Florida, Michigan, Arizona. So, half-hour episode every Friday.
Okay.
And
yep.
so I follow myself around. I'm the producer, everything.
Yeah.
Look for the records. At the end, I price them all out, and then I have a record of the week. I call it Gem of the Week.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'm always looking for Beatles 498 on BJ Records, their first release in the U.S.
Right.
Misspelt with 2 T's.
Okay.
You find that one.
Okay.
If you find that one.
It was a good trip. After 2 strikes, I think I hit a 2-run double at Wax Records. So time to go back home. Hey, Detroit, Bob, back at you. Sometimes you just got to get in the plane and go to Florida. And this time, that's how we got these great 45s. So we got 25 records, all 45s. They were priced at $104. I only had $98 in my pocket. So they let it go for the 98. So how cool is that? Thank you to Wax Records Incorporated for giving me such a great deal. And guess what? The median value on these is $118.29. On a perfect day, $328.70. We got some great stuff. We got some Who. We got Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night. We got Alice Cooper. We got Chairman of the Board. Here's that Beach Boys that I wanted. Great picture sleeve there. Doors, Roadhouse Blues, original sleeve. And you look at some of the stuff like Valley Girl. This is an obscure label out of Boston. Romantics, gotta love that. Rockin' Me, Steve Miller, didn't have it. A House of Love by the Was Not Was. Here's that Brazilian jazz I was looking for. So Joe Beam is in the house. The Fix, one thing leads to another. How great is that? Old school now, we're getting into the Shirelles. Slim Harpo on Excello. Shantae's The Ultimate Surf Tune, Pipeline. Here's some old Squeeze. I love Squeeze singles. And I got a Jamaican label. So you don't see these too much in the U.S. And when you do, you got to grab them. So the Clash, Rock the Casbah, didn't have it. The Detergents. Got to love that just for the artwork, right? Here's some old school Johnny Ray, Crying in the Rain, and Shadows of the Night. Whenever you see these guys, psychedelia, garage rock favorites, pick it up. And a personal favorite, Rod Argent, Hold Your Head Up. A great haul. We're going to be right back with Gem of the Week, so don't go anywhere because you're going to want to see it. Hey, Detroit Bob, Gem of the Week. It turns out the Doors get it. All right. There's two of the same song, and it's called Tell All the People. It's off the Soft Parade album. But this is the way it was released as a single in this picture sleeve with the iconic Doors logo. And I was always into the Doors. They were my Grateful Dead, if you will. Jim Morrison faded into the background by now. He would be dead in less than 2 years. This was released in November of '69. The genre was rock pop style, psychedelic rock. I don't agree with that. I think it's more of a lounge song. It was a single on Styrene, released in stereo on Monarch Press, a Monarch Press. So 73 Want It, 43, reverse that, 73 Have It, 43 Want It. The median value is $10.50. High value, perfect day, perfect price, $26.15. I paid $6.99. So the other one was sort of a cheap styrene knockoff, but I think the sleeves are pretty much the same. I don't think these sleeves were original. I don't think they're counterfeit, but I think someone found these sleeves after the fact and threw them on these singles. So I'm very happy I found a Doors 45. I did not find Beatles on VJ, but we're still looking. So stay with me. We're going to go back to Florida. Heck yes. There's a lot of great records down there. I got my art dealer friend down there, and we're going to want to go check out that scene as often as we can. So follow Detroit Bob. We'll be back next week, Friday at noon, for another episode of the RockMine.